In a not-so-surprising upset, Dark Side Phil has knocked out fellow YouTuber ReviewTechUSA. Phil Burnell, the one-time Street Fighter II nationally ranked #1 player, took the ring this Saturday to take on ReviewTechUSA, some fat guy that no one has ever heard of before. Phil, having once run a channel called KO Gaming, knocked out ReviewTechUSA in the first round. "We're all so proud of him," his wife, Kat, said, beaming as she held on to him at ringside. His wife, at one point referred to as Fat Cat by fans, had been inspired to lose the weight by seeing how hard her husband was training in between his streams. It was an amazing fight for Dark Side Phil. He won the respect of his fans, YouTube, and the world by rising up and fighting one of his most notorious internet trolls, Rich of ReviewTechUSA. But a question has been raised among fans of Phil, the king of hate. Who is Rich, and what is ReviewTechUSA? Well, we've been asking around, and no one seems to have any idea. Apparently, he's some guy who does live streams talking about Phil for 12 hours a night. But anything outside of that is beyond us. He had some other channel at some point. But the only content we've been able to find from that channel are videos of him reading aloud articles written by more credible video game journalists. In fact, most of our information about him comes from this show on Kick, Kino Casino. According to this show's hosts, Ashton and Andy, ReviewTechUSA has a Dropbox filled with pictures of underage girls in bikinis. He has a micro-penis, and he's not very good at video games. We're going to have to take their word for it, because there's no way that anyone is sitting through any one of his streams. So what exactly led to a Street Fighter champion beating up this fat retard in the ring? How exactly did this happen? Well, it all started when Rich from ReviewTechUSA started running his mouth on stream about how Phil was a loser who relied on his internet fame to keep his family afloat. 12 hours a night, Rich would run his mouth, attacking Phil, his family, and his fans. Well, enough was enough. Phil hit the weights. Before and after every stream he was training for the inevitable confrontation. It wasn't long until Rich, in a desperate bid for relevancy, decided to challenge DSP to a fight. He had just finished telling his audience that Phil was a coward and would not agree. Imagine his surprise when he did, and the date was set. DSP's YouTube channel exploded with anticipation as the fight was set, while ReviewTechUSA's channel stayed about the same, with virtually no viewership other than 4 people making fun of him. While DSP was eating healthy and training, Rich was losing weight through a combination of weed and Ozempic. When the day of the fight arrived, DSPGaming walked out shirtless, his rippling muscles bulging to screaming fans. When Rich stepped out looking like a round blob, the crowd fell silent. Even Rich's own children were holding DSP signs as Phil beat Rich into unconsciousness, and after the fight was over, asked to be adopted into the Burnell family. Rich, beaten down and humiliated, crawled over to his PC to check his stream numbers and found that not a single person had watched the fight on his channel, but had gone to DSP's instead. "Well, at least his audience saw me with my shirt off," he said, before checking Phil's stream, and realized that his entire body had been censored by Phil's crack moderator team. Fellow YouTuber Harmon Smith released a statement on the fight. Not only was Dark Side Phil a better fighter than Rich of ReviewTechUSA, he was a better gamer, a better man, and a better YouTuber. No one knows who you are, Rich, and it's time to just give up. I would tell you to delete your channel, but you've already gone ahead and done it. Rich tried to hang himself with a rope, but it snapped under his weight and he crashed through the floor of his parents' house, destroying it. Currently, he is asking for money on GoFundMe to pay for it, as he reviews the new handheld gaming PC he paid for on credit.